being in the black community, I feel like us as people, man, we live on hope. I mean, the way we've been broken and been down and always trying to come up in America, we as black people in our community always lived on hope. We always hope good. I mean, anytime, even when your kids go out, you hope that your kids will be all right when they come back in the house. Because we know with this skin tone here, what could happen when you walk out there in America today. When you go out for a job, you hope that you can get that raise and hope you can get that position.
Once again, we're back at it, the Get Established show, where it's all about awareness and support of our community. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and coming soon, TikTok. All right, so I'm gonna hand it over to my brother Chris for the introduction.
Grand risings. Okay, we got my brother Derek Jones.
Good day, people.
And over there on the wheels of steel is what we gonna call it today, who's doing all the sound effects, my boy Gary Williams.
In the house. Good day, people.
And my brother with the deep mind, we gonna call him Raymond Shine.
You know what it is.
And I'm gonna turn it over to the B.I.G.G. Mr. Big.
Appreciate that, brother. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Getting this thing started off. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's see here. So we're gonna introduce today's topic, which is hope in the black community. Does it still exist? And if not, how do we get it back? What you think about that, D?
I love it, man, and I love the topic. I'm going to start the show off like this. I'm living upside down. Damn, they said the world was round, but I'm bound to keep struggling. My life is steadily going down. And I know it sounds foul when I explain my situation that I'm facing, looking for a new occupation. I just lost my job. I just got robbed trying to make these ends meet. Food on my table, shoes on my kids' feet. I hit the street to try to end the stress. Made no progress. I did my best, but came or less with no success. I must confess. Thoughts of pursuing a crime. What's on a black man's mind? Is it them or us? These streets are colorblind. And I know the world is designed for equality, but it's not a part of me. My situation's got me living in poverty. Sometimes I feel like it's just a phase. Am I crazed, or do I have one foot in the grave? Cause it amazes me when I often have thoughts and memories from the past. A childhood, wishing I can make that memory last. A childhood, wishing I can make that memory last. Hope in the black community. Hope. My definition for hope is helping our people every day. That's my definition of hope. The actual definition of hope is a feeling or expression and desire for a certain thing to happen. That's powerful. So we're going to jump right into the show. Why do you think certain individuals are so hell-bent in destroying hope for others? I got a quote here from Get Out. It said, "You have been chosen because of your physical abilities. You have the natural gifts, but we have the determination." That's how others look at our community. Like, we have the natural gifts of abilities, but have we lost our determination to move forward? Is that a part of hope? Why are others so hell-bent in holding our community down instead of letting us flourish? This has been going on for years. For years. We can go back to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that was way before I was born. But why were they so hell-bent in making sure that that community didn't flourish? Why did they care so much? Why did they saw us prospering? Why were they so hell-bent in destroying that? Can y'all help me out with that?
Yeah, I think we can. The breaking of a spirit, that always is the key to holding a person back. If you can break their spirit and keep them from the desire really what they really want, then that's how you can keep a man down. You can keep a people down, because we all know that in the easiest way to move about is to just, hey, if there's something you want, then you go get it. You go get it, you pick it up, and you use it. So if someone tells you, don't touch that item because I told you not to, as a kid, you look at that and like, okay, well, hey, I don't supposed to touch that, because I was told not to touch that, but as an adult, if someone is physically preventing you from touching that object through means and ways that hold you back, you say to yourself, but damn, I can't touch it, so I can't use it, I have no access to it, so I just go about my way, and either I'm gonna do whatever, or I'm gonna find a way to utilize what I have here and invent something or make something that can serve the same purpose that object does.
Being in the black community, I feel like us as people, man, we live on hope. I mean, the way we've been broken and been down and always trying to come up in America, we as black people in our community always lived on hope. We always hope good. I mean, anytime, even when your kids go out, you hope that your kids will be all right when they come back in the house. Because we know with this skin tone here, what could happen when you walk out there in America today. When you go out for a job, you hope that you can get that raise and hope you can get that position. It's like most other coaches or people, just saying other people in general, they already started in America, they already got a head start. They got better opportunities than we do. So it's like anything we do, we got to have hope. I wake up every morning. I mean, what's the purpose of you not even, being here if you don't have hope in your heart? I mean, most times we do things is because we operating in hope. We believe something's good gonna happen, a change gonna happen. Like Sam Cook said, a change is coming. We feel like all the time, every time we everything we operate in, man. Everything. It's like even people that play lottery, they hope to hit. People who go to church, they hope that God change their situation. They pray all the time. We put our faith in things because we hope to see something different in life. It's been hard for us in this country. I mean, when you see other people can come here and get an opportunity, that can get a business, they don't have to pay back taxes, that they get all these cut breaks. And we've been here the whole time fighting like we in a paper bag to get out just to uprise. We operate in hope. All of us. Every kid you see that's black on it basketball court that's practicing shooting, he hoped to go to the NBA. Every young kid you see grabbing a mic trying to rap, they hoping to make it, man. Well, every kid is out there on a football field is black. You ain't hoping to make it to the NFL. That's the only way we can get out of the ghetto. That's the only way we can come up. That's the only way we feel like we can save our family. We ain't got no 40 acres of mule, so we fight to get out here every day with hope to make a change, man. We go to church just to hear hope, man. Just to function for the week, man. To hear a good sermon. Whatever we do, man. Black people, we live on just the strength of hope in everything we do every day.
I agree with a lot what Chris said, but I think with the hope, there also has to be responsibility, because there's a reason why all these traps have been set for us as a people. And what you'll find is you'll hear some people that don't want to hear that, but the reality is there ain't nothing but it's like a rat's maze with little pieces of cheese everywhere, but the cheese is tainted. Every time you get something that's supposed to nourish you, it actually sets you back like a poison. We have so many obstacles, and I'm not here. I'm never one to claim that you can't be successful, because you can be successful. But when you grow up in certain environments and you see so much negativity, the odds are more so you're not going to get out of it than you get out of it. And sometimes the journey out of the negativity is not understanding that you create more by going out selling drugs, by going out robbing people, by going out and just being a menace to society. But what happens in these very, very, very poor communities, what seems like opportunities present themselves. And it's about the fast money, but all it is a way to imprison more of our youth. Our youth is not being able to be a part of the building foundation of the new world for our people. We need our youth to be foundationally strong so that we can move forward. And a lot of the breakdown in our community comes from absent fathers. That's one thing we got to fix. Number one, I put pressure. You'll hear me. I put pressure on the mothers by how they raise the boys and how they raise the children. To raise the boys to be these kings that don't deserve it, and the daughters try to raise the daughter to be their friend. This is what we see a lot of because we start having children at a younger rate, at a younger age. But those things wouldn't happen if we had the structure of some responsible men in their place. Now, anyone, I mean, life will move on, but regardless of what the situation is or what happens, life will move on. But men, the onus is on you today. We need you to take responsibility for your children. These boys need men. They need immediate authority in their life. And in the proper place, the mothers will comply if you are there doing your job. In most cases, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be 100% because ain't nothing 100%. But I can tell you, I know it's hard for women raising children by themselves. And we got men out here to help them create it. You need to be there to help build this child and create a positive society, because these are the people we need. Right now, we don't even, there's the language of yes, sir, and yes, ma'am is gone. We need people to be able to function in a society. And right now, our youth is wiping out our new foundation, our new world. So my hope is that I hope we can resolve this situation, because the relationship issue is a major piece in why our families are so broken.
That's powerful, Big. It kind of leads into what I want to talk about next. How do we preserve hope for the next generation? In my mind, imagination sparks inspiration. Dreams start with imagination, which sparks inspiration. I mean, and with what's going on nowadays, it has been, in my mind, embedded in a lot of youth that they can't do certain things. I mean, and they want our community to feel like that. They want us to be in this box, and they make our youth feel like, well, it ain't no black people doing this. Like, we only had one golfer that was really dominant of color on the PGA, and I bowl. There's no professional bowlers in the, not, I said PBA earlier, I meant PGA, on the PBA tour on TV. There are black professional bowlers, but you would never see them. You would never see them. And it has been embedded. And you talk to, I'm using bowling as a reference because I talk to a lot of black bowlers. If you talk to the upper echelon black bowlers, because there are several that hold several records, they'll say that, hey, I lose money when I go out there. It costs too much, because you have to have a sponsor, one, which there are not a whole lot of sponsorships in the black community. We talking about sponsors. You have to have millionaire sponsors, because when you go out there, the expenses on the road are tremendous. So you have to have millionaire sponsors, and it's not a whole lot that want to sponsor a black kid to go out on the PBA tour. Why and what makes that so? And not that I'm saying parents aren't out here pushing their kids to be doctors, lawyers, in some references, school teachers. I'm just saying, we hear so much about our children wanting to be ball players, wanting to be a music artist. Some even want to act. I'm just wondering, why do we feel like we're in this box?
Because that's where it's been displayed. You know, it's when you see these these particular professions shown in that box that you look at every day. You press that button on that remote and you see that box show you this is what you are limited to do. This is what we want you to see. This is what is entertainment. This is what is what's your limit. This is what you're limited as. To be actor, football, basketball player, you know, then you be a rapper, musician, singer. You know, this is what this country uses to be able to show you that that's what you are. You are a minstrel. You are an entertainer. You entertain us. That's what we want you to do. We don't want you to do anything else. We don't want you to be focusing strongly on engineering. We don't want you to focus on being a physician, botanist, things that directly affect the environment and your people. I want you to just stay in that box of being an entertainer. We want you to just parade around, act a fool in front of the world, so the world can say, okay, well, hey, this is what y'all limited to. You are limited to that. That's what you are, just an entertainer for us. That's it.
I agree with Raymond, and I agree with Big said. It's like the world today got entrapments, and I mean these people who control the media, who control a lot of things, the education and news and stuff. They have put us in this position. They put us in this box. They take away our hope, like you were saying about Black Wall Street. When they destroyed that place, they took the desire, like I said, from these people, because you got to realize they were proud of what they was doing. And it seemed like every time we have a great, strong leader like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, they kill them, and the hope of the people die right with that murder. And then they just seem like, instead of us being creative like we was building stuff up, we only accept what's in front of us. These are the goals, and this is as far as y'all can take it. You can be this or you can be that, but we don't have that mind like we want to be like Bill Gates and just go out and do some different nerds to create our own stuff, create our own medical field, create our own medicine, see, this is the stuff hinder us from doing these things. Because as soon as we say, oh, I'm gonna make a machine to create an electric and everybody can be free. But these are the things that you being creative to do your own thing, to bring your people out of the darkness. Or just like a black dude, for the people that was over there that had the water, what's the state that had the water messed up, that led
Michigan.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit. I mean, Flint.
It's a black man that had a machine that took the air and made it rain to create water. He created something. Ain't nobody white went behind him or forced him. You don't even hear the blacks investing in that situation to help him. But the man was trying to help his people. It's always people. This is the hope that we have, that we can do these things, that no attention. The news ain't jump on it. CNN ain't jump on it. Or it ain't all over the headlines. Shh. Don't let them do nothing. Basically, don't let them people do nothing. Because when we see something that somebody else can do, it inspires us. That's why the only thing we see is rappers and football players and basketball players. It inspires us to go them routes, because these are the things that we see that's attaining to us. They up there flossing stacks of money and jewelry. So we follow like, this is my way. This is my hope out the ghetto. This is my hope of success. This is my hope that I can have something. And when we should be creative, we should do things that just like we never even heard about the first motor car that was created before Ford. There was some black people. Black man's created the first automobile. We don't hear these things. This is the stuff snatched out of history from us to inspire us to do these things. Just like I said, we never heard about Black Wall Street. I didn't hear about Black Wall Street till I was out of school. So we function with hope just to maintain, to try to come back up. The rise got to come inside of us. That's why we got to start using our mind, man. We got to start really thinking, man. We can't be just influenced by other people and ideas and what you read all the time. Sometimes you got to create your own books. Sometimes we got to rewrite some stuff. Sometimes we got to rewrite, well, this medicine don't work for us. This medicine might work for y'all, but now we're going to write a new medicine or herbs or whatever. Sometimes we got to take destiny in our own hands for the future to change things. Hope start with us, a mindset, a change with everything, a desire to do better. So it's like, man, if we want to help the youth, man, do you see the road they already had? No. Some of us got to stand back up like Martin Luther King. Some of us got to stand up like Malcolm X. There's got to be some strong leaders. We got to have people that's going in a direction that's going to help these people rise in different ways, man. The youth, the future is right now. If we don't change the future, man, it look dim.
Let me say this. We've got leaders that are in place, but the first person you got to lead is yourself. You got to get off your ass and find a way. That's what has to be done. That's where we are at this point. And I'm not saying a collective effort is not something that we need, but number one, if you start moving, you'll find a group that's moving like you. And then y'all come together and move forward. It's the same reason why we do this podcast. We're out here trying to bring ideas and situations to the Black community to fix some things. But it's not for us to fix it. It's for us to throw the idea out there, you disseminate it and see what makes sense to you, and then take it and move the ball forward. It's collective. I'm going to tell you right now, the new library, the new functioning real-time on-demand library is right here on YouTube. Right here on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and find people that look exactly like you doing amazing things and will teach you how to do it. There's a lot of free information out here, but there's no excuse now. There used to be a time, oh, I ain't had no car, I ain't got a library card, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. You know what? Everything's right here, the click of a button. And most everybody is walking around with a phone, if not multiple phones, okay? Young men, get out the damn street. The street is your gateway to the cemetery or to prison. We as a community need you here supporting and building the foundation for the future. We don't need you in jail. In jail, you are a trapped fool in jail, especially if you in there for something stupid, murdering another person. You eliminate 2 lives and you kill more than 2 families. Selling drugs, you disseminate a community because you out there poisoning the people that could be someone that could be helping you, and you could end up killing people in your own family by doing that. Get on this platform and find something that gravitates to you. But if you sitting around and you out here running dope in the street, bro, you can't look. You could do better in the street when we were young, when there weren't so many cameras. It's cameras everywhere. You being surveilled everywhere that you go because of that phone that's in your hand. You need to stop and realize you can't get away with it. And the feds, when they come, they already got everything they need. They got everything they need. All you're doing is making it sweet and easy because you want to post everything. You want to post all your guns, post all your drugs. We need you to start turning around and trying to find a new way, a safe way, and raise your family and create some generational wealth instead of going out here playing a game that's set up. The game is rigged. Look at your friends. Look at people that came before you. You're not going to win the drug game. You're not going to win the robbery game. You're not going to win the scam game. You're not going to win. You have to go play the games where the people that don't look like us play and win. Look at who always win. Every time there's a crash in the market. Back in 2007, I was in the mortgage industry. The market crashed in 2007. The people that got bailed out, really, the whole country hurting. Everybody everybody in the middle class and below was hurting. Guess who got bailed out? Them jokers on Wall Street got bonuses for messing up the system. They screwed the system. They created all of the issues that happened back then when people were losing their houses and people were getting kicked out and didn't have any jobs. They took bonuses. Nobody over there went to jail. You in the wrong game. You in the wrong game. And if I could, if there was a way that I could, I don't know how to paint the picture any broader and brighter, but I can tell you this. Come to the Get Established show because we throwing ideas out here into the grind of fighting for our community and our family first. Our family first, our community next, and then our future. That's the order, and that's what we have to do. It's our responsibility. It is not the ladies. They are here to support us. It is our responsibility to build the future for our next generation.
Word. You got something to say, Rick?
Yeah, I was gonna unpack some other stuff, but
Go ahead.
one point I wanted to make was that, yeah, as far as us doing other things, you know, in other fields, we need to recognize those people who are doing those things and draw our support to them. You know, that's one thing we can do is, you know, and not be so focused on what we see, you know, displayed in the media, you know, because the media is so influential to the average man. See, when the average man just looks at what he wants to see and he's interested in just that, that's all he's going to look at. He's just all he's going to be focused in. Until we take our eyes off of what we normally see as, okay, well, hey, this is something that this is what I like, this is what I'm interested in, and take and draw to things that would at least give us a broader perspective on how we look at life. And once we start to take interest in those other things, then we can move forward and stop being stagnant in that. The other things is as Biggs mentioned, you know, people doing things that's good, you know, because we need to be bringing people in to be able to support what we are doing, because you can't look at it as, okay, well, hey, that's something nice. All right, well, let's move forward. You know, when you see people putting forth effort, that should inspire you to say, hey, this is something that they're doing that's trying to be positive, you know, that's trying to build up. So we encourage you to build with us. We encourage you to build with someone that that shares, you know, those like values with you, because that's the only way that we can all come together and do something for everyone, you know, because it's all about building each other up. You know, that's the point of why we're doing this. It's not just for the you know, just to say, okay, well, hey, these are issues that we have in the community, so just recognize those. No, we're saying, hey, you see these issues, so let's do something about it. We all asking that. We're all willing to put forth the effort. We stand here to do just that. What any issue that's going on, we're here. So that means that anybody that sees that issue and asks that question or makes that comment, hey, let's do it. Come on.
I'm gonna say, not to cut you, Derek.
No, you good.
Cut the network TV off and stop watching the news. That's number one. Cut the damn network TV off and stop watching the news and go find what you need or what you want. I could tell you 3 industries right now where we need to be for our young people. Right now, right now, if you turn to HD TV, everybody flipping houses, right? How many young black contractors do we have? Class A contractors, Class C contractors, HVAC techs, plumbers. If the way that we move in the street, if we could turn it into business, There is big money in these industries. You guys can look, you young guys, you ain't got to go to college.
The hustler
I
athletes,
got a
yeah.
show coming up. Let me tell you, because look, we talked about this a few weeks ago. You ain't seen the show yet, but it's coming. Where I know for me, when I was in school, grades it wasn't a tangible enough result for me to want to make good grades. I did okay. I just didn't want to fail. Okay. I didn't want to be left in my previous grade. But as far as the tangible thing, I understand that y'all need something and you need it now. But that's why get your education, at least finish high school. But when you go get in a trade program, go become a plumber, go become an HVAC tech, go become an electrician. Then find your smartest, sharpest friend, your sharpest friend. Send him to go be the contractor or engineer in contracting. Go out there and put this team together and get some of this flip business and continue to grow and continue to share and continue to hire our people. Get our foot. We got to get off the street. We got to start using our brains, yo. It is money out here, big money out here, where you don't have to worry about somebody breaking in your house because they think you got drugs or you got a bunch of money sitting in the house and you got your family in there. Go to work. It's money out here. Look, these movies and this stuff that the news that comes on every day, don't believe that shit. Don't believe it. Build your own story. That's how all the greats that we know about, that we heard about, but for you to hear of a Frederick Douglass, for you to hear of a George Washington Carver, for you to hear for Madam T.J. Walker, for you to hear that, they had to do something that was so phenomenal for people to be able to accept it, to include it in our history. So imagine about all the people you didn't hear about. You come out and be somebody that people are going to talk about and forget about being talked about, change some lives. You guys, look, the class of 2021, whether you're coming out of high school or you're coming out of college, you can do this. You can get your friends together. Now, let me tell you something else. That was one sector I told you about. Here's another. You got a group of friends. Let's say y'all might not want to get dirty, get down and dirty. Okay, y'all too pretty. Y'all want to dress nice. Guess what? In the housing business, you need a loan officer. You need a realtor. You need an insurance agent. You need a title person. You need an appraisal person. If you need somebody to do all that, and you need people to close, which is part of the title process, okay? But look, that's 6 people right there. That's just a team of 6. If 6 of y'all started at 18, y'all ain't never made no real money. You could come out as that team and look, let the lead come in the front door and go through the back door. Come change the world. You guys are our future and we counting on y'all. But this is what we need. And these are the jobs that y'all don't know about. They sitting right there. They're available. And it's a lot of money. I'm talking about you can come out in some of those fields that I just talked about and make multiple 6 figures in a year on your way to being a millionaire. And you can change other people's lives because at that point you can start employing people and you can start sharing how to build it, but y'all continue to work together. Derek, I'm sorry, but I had to get that out.
No, man. I need all of this. I need all of it. Y'all touched on a couple of subjects that's coming up in my questions. The next thing I want to talk about is, do successful people of color separate themselves from their community, therefore not considering themselves no longer a part of that community? And I give you an example. We often hear about people getting to a certain income, moving to other areas, or even in education. If you don't go to school in your neighborhood and you go to school in another neighborhood and you get a scholarship to go to a Ivy League school, do you separate yourself from your community because you achieve a certain amount of success going forward? I know a lot of times living in our community hurts us, meaning we get our homes broken into, meaning the type of language that's used out in the street, meaning somebody hating on your situation. But does that give us an excuse, and do we lose hope for that community?
I think absolutely. A lot of people who do become successful, I think a lot of people always tend to say you forgot where you come from. but I think it's the conditioning of society that we go out here and dream the American dream and we chase the American dream. And the thing is, when we make it, a lot of us forget to come back and share how we made it. Or look, this is what I did, and I see my community. I'm gonna go back to my neighborhood and show them the strategy how I got out of here. This is how I got my business. Or young man, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and since I made it in basketball, I'm gonna go ahead and invest my money into account, and I'm gonna get a lot of young cats, and I'm gonna teach them what made me good or my trade shot, so they can advance themselves as young men and be better. A lot of times people don't come back to their community. They feel like it's dangerous to stay in our community, so we got to get out of our community to go, somewhere else in somebody else's community to feel safe. And we shouldn't have to be like that, because I feel like as people, we should get together and fix our community. If our community is at a point that you feel like you can't stand your community because it's dangerous, because you're successful, then maybe we need to go back and fix our community. Because if my community hungry and I'm full and I'm living good and I ain't feeding the people who I left behind, what you think they're going to do? They're going to come and get you because they starving. They realize you ain't helping them.
It's interesting that you brought that up. I watch Snowfall. That's one of my favorite TV shows. And there was an episode in Snowfall where one of the characters was scared to go back to the community because he left them high and dry because of the situation that he was dealing with. And another character named Jerome took the young man back and explained to him, they're upset with you because you left them high and dry. You good, but they out here struggling. So that's pretty cool that I saw that in that episode and you brought that up, Chris. Well, Shine a big.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this, man. People get out because the environments ain't right. People, and it's sad. We should be working them to get into more communities of color, and we doing more to get out. But it's dangerous, and it's because of the lack of knowledge. People perish. That's the problem.
Go ahead, Raymond.
Before Raymond, I was gonna say this. I ain't mean to hold you up, right? Well, one thing I want to say, like in our community, I don't know how true it is. It's just something because I heard this. That they say a lot of athletes and people who do get money and get successful, the way they keep their success is that there got people like agents and them telling them not to go back and do certain things or help out the people they left behind. I don't know how true that is, but I heard no more cases of them influencing black people who are made it out of the ghetto not to go back and help their people. But go ahead.
We need more black agents.
So what's happening? So what's happening with that, Chris, is when these cats are going in the NBA or the NFL, they have these people in place saying that you've achieved a certain amount of success. So the people that you used to deal with, no longer can deal with them because they may put you in a situation where now you're around drug dealers or now you're around people that are doing certain crimes. And like Ray Lewis, being in a situation where a stabbing took place and that affected his NFL career. So I think the agents or the powers that be are in this place because now they have this athlete that is the face of their team. And Deshaun Watson is going through that right now. And these things are happening because of quote unquote the crowd or the people you keep around you. They're bringing you down. So I think that's what's in place. But I want to get back to Raymond because I want to hear what he has to say. Go ahead, Raymond.
Yeah. I say people move out because of a lot of factors that have been contributed to the community's downturn. When you have the community pushed or moved to an area where there may be a plant or something that spews out toxic chemicals and things of that nature, your community has been pushed to that area, to bring your health down. You got freeways constructed in your community to divide you all from one section to the next. You know, you have those things to prevent you from being able to interact with everyone in in that entire community. Though that's a factor. When you have laws, you know, for voting that displaces the community and puts everyone in a certain district, so that when the laws are enacted, those laws are there to negate the the growth of that community. You know, who wants to stay in that community? Because you have those people there in the community that just they have homes there. They've been there all their life. So when you have someone that comes up and wants to and is successful, they understand that that's their community and they want to help it. But if you have the powers that be that eliminate the process of even having to be able to grow, because they're continually managing it in a way where they want to put all the worst elements in there to keep that community from growing, then how can you grow that community? So it's that there needs to be the desire for people to work that's on the outside of that community and see that that community is going through these things and want to help that community. There needs to be people that are put in place as politicians that really want to get into that community and really work to help that community, instead of just smiling and saying, hey, we're going to do this. Be really willing to help people, because that's one of the problems that we deal with in the community. Well, that's several of the problems that we deal with in certain communities of color, is the fact that we have outside forces, as well as those forces, as well as the people inside that are bringing that community down.
Word. I want to talk about something that I really hate to hear. Oftentimes you hear people and they have achieved a certain level of success in their lifetime, and you hear them having a conversation. They be like, I'm thinking about buying this house, or I'm thinking about buying this car. And somebody else will come up and be like, well, go ahead and get it. It ain't like you could take it with you. And then you hear certain people say, um, well, I ain't worried about leaving no money for my kids. I'm going to enjoy this money while I can. I can't take it with me. I always hear I can't take it with me. But does that destroy hope for the next generation? And like I said, my definition of hope is helping our people every day. Does that destroy a level of hope for the next generation? Because if you have this legacy that you've left for the next generation, they can push on, take that legacy and push forward. But if you don't leave anything behind, they're starting from scratch. How do y'all feel about that?
That's why
That's
Well,
that's why we fail. That's why we struggle, because we don't have assets that's moved forward. Typically, when people get left things, they get left cars, they get left houses, they get left boats, they get left pianos. Next thing you know, they done sold it. And the thing about it is, if you can't, you got to be responsible enough. Because this is what's happened. I'm gonna tell you why people have taken that approach, because they've seen so many other hardworking people leave things for their family for them to blow it. So they say, you know what? I ain't gonna leave mine so they can blow it. I'm gonna enjoy it. But in the process of that, you got to raise your kids to receive it and be able to know what to do with it. That's an
I
irresponsibility issue. Go ahead,
I
Chef.
I think that the mentality that we as a people have is an issue also, because it's like, okay, well, I got mine, you need to get yours. You'll tell your own kids that, hey, I've been at I got this, I attained this, because hey, I worked hard for it, so you should work hard too. And that's the mentality, is is negating to the kids, because even if you do produce something that's of value, you should be able to, like you said, be able to let that child know that, hey, look, this is something that I want to lead to you, and I want you to value it because it's something that I work hard for, and I want you to carry this to that next level. I want you to be able to use this to get you in a position to be better than what I am. The desire to really push that child to that next level. It has to be that. And it has to be your willingness to plant that foundation or that seed in them to do that.
Chris.
I feel like we've been trained to just spend money the way we do, man. We've been trained not to invest in our future. We've been trained to, I got to have it right now. We've been trained not to save for tomorrow. We've been trained not to look at longevity. It's the condition, as you go back to when we say slavery or whatever, how we always strive because we had the less clothes. So when we got our clothes, we got the best. It's like how to manipulate us in shopping and buying. So it's like we got this mentality like, man, I can't worry about my kids. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this now. And it's like we buy because I'm telling you, buying so much make us feel successful because this is part of hope to us. I hope I can make the payment for this Lexus, and you go out there and get it knowing you can't afford it.
Name brand stuff. Yeah.
I hope I can go ahead and get like my brother got it, because your brother got a good job. You still working at McDonald's, but you want to go out here and buy a Rolex with all these diamonds just because you want to be seen good in the club and when you go out. I hope I can, we go out here on a hope. Even when we jump out here to buy a house, we hope that this job gonna be here so I can pay this house off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't have the same structure as other people. I mean, we can sit out here and tell a lot of good stuff and philosophy and theories, but the problem of it is we ain't positioned like other coaches, man. We already way behind.
But where does it start? So how do we start positioning?
I mean, I get what you're saying. We got to build up our own community. It start within self. But we ain't taught this, man. We taught to work hard, get a 9-to-5, and make sure you get benefits, and that's it. We ain't taught to be entrepreneurs. We ain't taught to be business. We ain't taught to how our dreams could take us further. We are taught to be slaves to work in a condition in America. You already know that, Big. You know they train us to go to school to just do what we got to do. Huh?
It's not. I understand what you're saying, but for there are obstacles. There always
it's obstacles. It's plenty of obstacles.
There's always opportunity too.
But look at this. Look at this. Where did they put the drugs in the black community? Where did they got the guns in the black community? Where they got the alcohols in the black community? These are designed to keep us down, man.
I understand.
We don't have these bridges that they have, man. These things are the entrapment, like you was talking about. They put this game together for us to stay down so we could stay at the bottom. They never wanted us at the top because they seen what we did with Black Wall Street. They seen what we did in North Carolina. There was a Black Wall Street. They seen there was another Wall Street up in there in New York and all. There's more than one Black Wall Street they're not telling us about. It was a plenty of them. They destroyed each one of them. They even did Rosewood. That was another almost Black Wall Street. They destroyed it because they see that we could be prosperous without them. So now they got us banded with them and programming us to stay this way. This is a game, man. This is a game and it is a design. So now they got us living on hope, and that's all we got. But the thing is, we got to push our hope and work out here. We got to get to a position that hope is our reality, not something we're gonna sit back and keep hoping for. It's good to hope for something, but don't keep hoping for something without you not going out here making it happen. A lot of times we sit back and hope for things without even putting any action behind it to make it happen.
What you just said is the prime example of what needs to be done, because it can be done. There are resources out here to be able to do what we need to do. It's just a desire to want to do it.
That's the key what you just said. Desire.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
We got that. And I'm like, he giving us the format of how we can get out of this.
I mean,
but the problem is,
and that's more than one way of doing it.
What I'm saying is, you got to get the mind of these people. We got to get the people to
Right.
listen. We got to get the people to
Right.
start
And
thinking.
that's
A lot of
what
them
we're
ain't
doing.
even when I was young, I didn't want to hear what my dad said. My dad tried to tell me good stuff, how to work on the car, how to do this. Man, I ain't trying to hear that. And you just get in that stupid state of mind. Even
Right.
us right now doing this podcast, some of them gonna listen, some of them ain't trying to hear. But then the crazy thing is, years later, after they get a little more mature and all the weed and all the dumb stuff is out their brain, they start thinking and realize, damn, man, I should have listened. I should have did this. I could have been a lot further, like I'm saying, in my life. Ain't nothing we saying ain't wrong. What we telling people what we can do to build ourselves up. The problem is, the message is just listen. And listen to what Big saying, how to flip a house, man. These young cats ain't got to sell dope. They can flip houses. Man, you can go flip cars. You can go ahead and get you a license. You can do a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff you could do. It's just that your desire to want to do it. That's the thing.
The lack of education. You do what you only know you exposed to. So a lot of these cats, they know somebody showing them the dope game, and they're like, well, I can see the money in the dope game, but ain't nobody coming to them and saying, look, let's go flip this house. Let's the same money we would go to get a damn quarter key or half a key. You can go buy a damn house and go in there and fix it up. You could pay somebody to put just more investment, pay somebody to fix it up and turn around and make that money. Now, granted, yes, you got to pay taxes, but guess what? You sleep good at night. You pay your taxes, and then eventually you get further up the road and you understand how to start writing off things because you become more of a business person. You got to expose, just like you can expose yourself to them streets. And I'm gonna tell you like this: the wolves gonna eat. That's why people move out of the low income areas, because the wolves gonna eat. Who want to be around in the neighborhood where wolves at? I want to go where it's sheep. Because the sheep ain't coming kicking in my back door, but the wolf will.
But okay, with that being said, Big, the wolves do want to eat. But when you move with the sheep, do you just forget about the people that you left over there with the wolves?
Man, the sheep can turn to a wolf at any time, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something.
From the conditions, man. They started off as sheep, then they turned to wolves because they trying to survive. Survival of the fittest come in, and that's what it is. A lot of us try to survive, and the lack of not having. That's what the key thing what Dirk just asked with his last question. The lack of not having, man, make us go out here and spend to have and don't even worry about our seeds.
But that,
I'm gonna join minds. I'm gonna spend it because it makes us selfish. It makes us selfish. And if you desire your kid to be better than you, you invest in your child and make sure you build a future for him to be prosperous. A lot of times, the parents don't try to put something together for their kid to be prosperous. Some do. I mean, you gotta look at Venus and them. Their dad invested in Tiger Woods. His dad invested in them. When you see a dad take time out to invest and put money behind them and push them, you see what happens with their careers. Think about it. How many black dads, like you said, get in our lives and invest in a child from a young age, no matter what, from business, teaching them how to cut hair, putting them in a barber shop, teaching them how to go out here and cut grass, get a couple of friends with them, get trailers to show them that they could be prosperous. See, we talking this, but sometimes it takes us to invest in them and push them to show them. Don't wait on the man. Don't wait on the pastor, man. Well, it takes every black man who got a seed to do this. Stop looking for a handout like welfare. Stop waiting for the government or a G.O.P.E to do it. Why won't you do it? That's what I'm looking at. It starts with everyone. When I'm pointing at me and every four of us and every guy out here listening to this podcast. Every person. It starts with us. That's the only way the future gonna be built. Because they're not giving us an opportunity. We got to create our opportunities.
And we got to come together and support one another too. But what we have to create, there's this thing called Black excellence. You can't be out here trying to service people being piss poor. You got a group of people that you come up with. You know who's the best organizer. You know who's the best this, who's the best that, who's the best artist. Hell, look at this group right here. In this group right here, Raymond's the best artist. Chris is like the what I would call the most inspiring, inspiration. He got the most, he got biggest the most zeal and the most push and the most that. Derek is the architect kind of the situation. And then you got me. I don't know what the hell I am, but I'm something.
You business, finances, mortgages, investments, money. You all that in one. I don't get a business.
You know who you are. You know who you are.
I know who I am. H.O.P.E mechanic shop. We need young morticians. We need, I mean, it's so many other things other than always being surrounded by a party. We got enough damn party promoters. Okay, we don't need no more of them. We need
No
some
more
people that doing
DJs.
some things in function in society that's in the middle of an audience. I mean, industry. So we need, like right now, we don't have, I don't know where any specialty mechanic shop for German vehicles owned by black people.
No more
Or,
rappers.
please rap
Well-
while you making some money. If you want to rap, make some money fixing a car or being a plumber. And I'm saying,
Well,
look, I'm
but
not
look,
trying.
Big,
Look,
this
let
is
me
what-
tell you this. Hold on, let me say this, Chris. Some people in our community look down on some of these professions. These are high paid professions. And we need to, because this is all we had back in the day.
But,
Back in the day in our communities, we had people to do all this.
but check this out.
We had the
If your dad was a mechanic, 9 times out of 10, he will have you out there showing you stuff, teaching you how to mechanic. If your dad was a barber, 9 times out of 10, he will have you in the shop showing you how to cut. Now, if your dad own a lawn service, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be out there. Even if you don't go that route, and even if your route you try to go don't work, you can still fall back and go in that route because he trained you. A lot of us ain't been trained, but you know how it's so easy. We so laid back. Everything you saying don't do, they gonna do is because it's like selling drugs. Through the music, through the videos, these cats see how easy it is to even get us caps and go out here and sell. It's not even, it's like America has trained young black people how to be entrepreneurs selling drugs.
Let me say this.
We've got movies that inspire. You ain't got, the only thing we got far as like a movie was Barbershop, showing us how to be a barber, like with Ice Cube. Name what other movies inspired us to be anything else.
We got to make those movies. We
No,
can't
See what
get
I'm
them
saying?
made.
But
gotta
we
make
always
those
got movies of New Jack City. We got King of New York.
That's
We
because
got
other
we got
people
all
are
these movies
financing it
teaching
and
us
they
how to
want that to
hustle
be their
Scarface.
narrative.
You got so many movies teaching you how to package and sell these dopes. Even these cats who now doing these little independent movies, they sold more into the hood movies out here selling dope and banging. That's all they want to invest in, showing kids these type images and thoughts and ideas to do. This is the hope. They feel like they getting out of the ghetto by selling you the bad hope of destroying yourself.
Because if
just say
you
this.
want something to look at, if you looking at something and you're saying that's where my interest lies, then that's what you gonna go towards. If you want to go towards something different, then you think about doing something different. If you just still want to be the person that goes worse than the last person. You want to be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to make a harder movie. It's going to be ill. I'm going to make sure they see all the hood and this realness. I want to be 100% realer than the last person that come out. Then that's what you always going to be. A hood that's always one of the guys that going to glorify the hood. Stop glorifying the damn hood. Focus on something other than the damn hood.
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. I want to go back to what Chris just said about the parents, the fathers showing the youth a trade that they have, whether it's lawn service, barbershops. A lot of fathers have settled in working for other industries, other companies, somebody else's businesses. So it's hard to bring along your son or your daughter and train them in the industry that you are, having your child at the job, training them. We have to put ourselves in a situation where we're supporting our own black businesses. If you go to the black neighborhood right now in the lower income areas, you have other communities operating as businesses in those communities.
That's right.
And the problem with
all
that
the money
is,
out.
the problem with that is you can't go to an Asian community and see a black business.
Nope.
You can't go to a Jewish community and see a black business.
Nope.
Hell, you can't go to an African community and see American black businesses operating in that community. So until we are ready to say, no, you're not going to come in here, exploit our people, take our money and give us half-ass services and tell us when and when we cannot purchase and get things, until we stand up and we're ready to do that and take our communities back on the business side, there's a problem, because these young drug dealers in the street are the main ones hanging out on the corner at that Asian store, are the main ones going into this African gas station and buying cigarettes, blunts, beer, whatever the case, instead of saying, hey, I know I'm out here doing wrong, but you know what? I'm gonna clean this money up. I'm gonna open a business in my neighborhood. I'm gonna create a barbershop. I'm gonna create a gas station. I'm gonna create a grocery store. Hell, why everywhere, every time we go in the black community, we see these stores and then we go in them and they look at us crazy, like every young person is in there to steal
Here's
something.
something.
Right.
But check this
Right.
out. This is what I was gonna say. The same thing he talking about these Asian places and all that, and African places and all that. 9 times out of 10, majority of them got their kids right there, showing their kids their entrepreneurship or how to run them businesses.
Right.
When the kids even at school, some of them at the cash registers, they training them.
Yep.
And see that we don't, and this is what we settle, like I said, we settle to be servants working for somebody that you cannot leave nothing behind for your kids. Just like the book we used to read, Rich Man, Poor Dad. That's the most inspiring book of all to ever read, to get a good concept of how America industry is. Because a lot of people will tell you to get a job with benefits and medical and all that stuff, and you happy and just retire. But they don't train. What can you leave for your family if you die working that job? See, a business you can leave behind, financial money going back to your kids. Because when you die, even if you behind a cash register and somebody coming in and rob that business and pow, 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 all you get it. That business ain't gonna pay for your funeral 9 times out of 10. That business ain't gonna take care of your kids. All they gonna do is send some flowers. You died for somebody else stuff, not your own stuff, somebody else stuff. And this is the illusion that we grow up believing that working for somebody for 9 to 5 and we can retire. Now retirement ain't even there for us, really. We got this illusion that we gonna work hard. So what I'm telling people is start doing get your own. It's better to have your own, man. Control your own destiny and your kids. One, being entrepreneurs, to have a business, or train them how to cut hair, train them how to do hair, your girl, or get a beauty salon, do something different.
Look, and it's not wrong with having a job. Okay. If you need a job to kickstart your business, then do that. But also always have something that you're doing on the side till you can make it into something that's the full-time thing. We ain't saying jump out here and go full throttle business. I mean, some people can do that. Everybody ain't built that way. Some people need to have that stable job for a moment. But what has happened, the program in our mind, even from being in the system under the government's assistance, is the same. It's this look, and I want you to understand this. It's the same thing. Whether you sitting on your porch getting government assistance in the projects, or if you sitting in a $200,000 house in a neighborhood going to a job every day, it's the same thing. It's the same mentality. If you haven't thought about, you know what, I need to create something for my kids and my family, my lineage. And I'm gonna tell you something else. If you don't have your final wishes set up, you playing the game too. You can have some insurance. You got a little insurance, probably a little 50,000. Look, let me tell you something. 50,000, half of that gonna go to the damn funeral. Okay, you need to get you some real insurance. You need to get something in place that when you leave this place, your family can number one, first and foremost, carry on as if you're there. That's first. But when you leave, everybody should be better, which means you got to do more. And people don't want to spend money on certain type of insurances. If I told y'all how much I paid in insurances and investments and stuff, you'll lose your damn mind. And I still got certain things that I consider nice things, but I do it in a way that I'm thinking about my future. I'm not going to know most of the people that's coming. I'm not going to know most of the people that's coming behind me, but you know what they're going to say? That I want my picture up on the wall saying this the guy that changed it. Okay? And not because I want to be glorified. I want to be the one that changed the course of the family that follows me. I want to be the one. And we're not thinking that way. We thinking about all what's going on right now. I'm not saying you can't have a good time and you can't enjoy the fruits of the spoils of your fruits or whatever at this moment. But you have to be able to pay something forward. Great movie back in the day. What's that movie? Was it called Pay It Forward? What's the one where
Pair.
what's the one where Bruce Willis and a little boy didn't know Bruce Willis was dead?
Oh,
It was called Pay It Forward, right?
no, it was. I know which movie you're talking about.
Anyway, to say that the young man was talking about what you needed to do to set yourself up. In other communities, they set themselves up for generations when they leave. They set generations up. That's their whole purpose why they're working here, to set other generations up. Our community, we only trying to survive. We got to stop this, y'all. Scratching and Surviving, that was Good Times, the TV show. That is not where we are right now. We thriving.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this right there. We're gonna get to thriving.
And stop investing in other people's products. You know what I mean? Because that's where we putting value in other people's products. You want to say, okay, well, let me get this Benz, this BMW, this Lexus. It's always the emphasis on it's you putting value on somebody else's things and making them wealthy. Invest in your own people so that they can have something and thrive, because this valuing somebody else's thing is always going to put you in the same position. You spending money and buying something that you can't afford, or that you can afford, but you're putting emphasis on their wealth and not your wealth
and the family wealth. And ain't nothing wrong with having a nice car, y'all. Raymond,
True that. I want to go ahead and move into our last subject, media. How do you think media plays a part in dimming the hope in the Black community? I know there's been several things that happened in the last few years. We've talked about this on previous shows. Bill Cosby getting locked up, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and the list goes on. Breonna Taylor being murdered at the hands.
Sandra Bland.
Yeah, Sandra Bland. We have a situation right now with Deshaun Watson. He stated that he no longer wanted to be a Houston Texan and demanded a trade. And all of a sudden, you have, I think, over 20 female massage therapists come forward saying that he has touched them inappropriately, used some form of sexual misappropriation towards them. And this media tends to paint a picture, not saying that any of these individuals, as far as Bill Cosby and R. Kelly and Deshaun Watson, are not guilty of some of these things. I'm not saying that, but it's funny how these things don't tend to come out on these individuals until certain moves are being made by them. And, you know, for a young Black man or a Black woman coming up, does this destroy hope, some form of hope, when you achieve a certain level of success for them?
These tools are used where the media is weaponized. It's weaponized to control people. You know what I mean? Because you thinking that you have a level of power and influence because you being used by the media to be able to vote you to stardom or to a place or level where, you know, hey, you dream to attain. But in that same token, if you are shouting against the establishment, you're shouting against the powers that be, and you're shouting against the very media that put you or voted you to that level of stardom, that same vehicle is gonna be used to bring you down. You know, because when it's controlled by forces other than you, it's gonna be used against you. Because it's like we made you and we can break you.
Stop watching the news. Watch for the weather and flip the channel. Matter of fact, you ain't even gotta go to the news. Just go to the Weather Channel. This is not sponsored by the Weather Channel. Other Black entrepreneurs, you see us up here talking. If you got a product, you got a service, hit us up and we'll run it right here. We building over here, y'all. I'm telling you, it's not a game. I'm so serious. We mean what we're saying. We want y'all to understand what is available to you, not what you can do. What is the world is open to you. The internet has changed the entire game. There's people out here doing multiple $1 million of business on the internet all over the world. You can do the same. Everybody got a skill and a talent, and there's things that's going to be opening up with us here that we're going to be doing. We just getting started. So understand, we just getting started, y'all. We want y'all to rock with us. We want to rock with y'all. We already rock with y'all. We want the best for the Black community. But we as a community, we're starting to change right here. And we want people to jump on this bandwagon and come with us and help us change our community. We have to fix this thing. We are so resilient as a people. We need to take some of that resiliency that we using to come out of oppression, and we need to be pushing over to the other side, because we've got that. We pushing up against a huge monster, 1,000-pound monster. Everybody walking around with a 1,000-pound monster. Look, if we come together, the load gets lighter, and we can thrive, and we can shape the form of our children and our next generations. And I'm talking to you as a father and as a husband. I want to help you. If you need help and you don't understand the direction, what you need to do with your family, then talk to somebody that's done it. I've raised, my kids are on their way to being grown. My son 27, my daughter 21, about to graduate from college. My kids are grown. They're moving to the right thing, but we still got to make sure that the playing field is safe, because the wolves are out. We need to feed these wolves so they can understand that they look just like the sharks. You see that the TV show Shark Tank? The wolves in our community that's selling drugs and doing all this stuff, they have the ability to be a shark in business because of just their makeup. Some people just got a certain makeup, and they can take that same thing out of the streets and put it in the business world, be safe, and help our community move. Those are the cats we need, really. We need everybody. But we want y'all to get in line here and understand what's going on so we can fix our community. We're in trouble. Our young men are gunning each other down in the street. Our leadership is getting diminished in that way. The ones that's not getting gunned down, they going to jail for a long time. And we are destroying families. Fathers, I need you. 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 Fathers, your children need you.
I do feel like certain celebrities' images are being diminished in front of us, especially like you saying, like Cosby, giving us great hope, growing up. And, he was an inspiration in helping a lot of Black kids go to college and stuff. They have it's just ironic. A lot of us as colored people jump on the bandwagon and tear our own people down with them. And us having these celebrities that we look up to, and we always, like you say, every time there's a move they're trying to do, accusations come out, then a bunch of people out the blue. Because I feel like these people should come out way. It should be, because the way news jump on things, all it takes is one. Why you got to wait to a certain situation, Cal, for all on the jump? I think these people should be jumping out the whole time through their career nonstop, so you can boom, R. Kelly, but anybody. But the problem is, and I'm not, like you say, I can't say they're guilty or not, but it's just so odd that all of a sudden, when they try to do something or something, the media jumps at them and attack them. And we jump right behind them. Oh, yeah, they ain't no good. And it's crazy because I can't see the Jews doing that to their people. I can't see the Catholics doing that to their people. I can't see the Chinese people doing that to their people. I just see the Black people always do that. Always. Now, yeah, they threw Trump out there and people dance with Trump, but that was their big problem. But we as people had it. What are we doing? And that's another subject.
But even with that being said, with Trump, he still had supporters from his community.
Yeah, but I'm saying we don't stand behind our people. We just say they guilty right off top because of media. We don't do no investigating. We don't look at the evidence closely. We don't do all we got to hear is somebody. He said that. I mean, and I done been lied on. Dirk, you done been lied on. Bid done been lied on. Raymond done been lied on. Just imagine you in front of people and you're like, I ain't saying it. And shut up, and they got you straining and everybody just coming out saying stuff. And you're like, it's the same thing like they posed when they did Jesus. He couldn't say nothing and Bibles and they freed him. But when people make accusations, at least you are guilty before even you get to the courts through the media. You already crucified. They already hung you. And it's a lot of our black celebrities getting happening to. And it's sad because I feel like if I'm innocent, who can I turn to? Can I turn to my people? I can't. My people gonna turn against me, and the people who prosecute me look different than me already execute me, and I can't even turn to my people, even if I'm innocent, because I got all these accusations against me, and boom, boom, boom. Because we just love to hear negativity, and we want to love to hear so much stuff going on so quick and fast that it just that we as people need to stand together and at least investigate. We already blindsided because we'll let people influence us with what they say. We have no evidence, but the evidence they present on TV is enough to put 80-some-year-old man who can't see in jail while other people get smacked on the wrist.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm going to say this before we wrap up the show. I talked about the killings also of individuals from my black community. I could see where that would destroy hope in the youth when you feel like you can't wear a hoodie or you can't go on a jog or you can't travel out of state or you can't sleep in your own bedroom. You have people violate your space and kill you because you are of a certain color of skin or you are a suspect in a certain situation or you're being pulled over and they suspect that you have drugs. But I'll say to our black people, we have to keep moving forward. We have to keep moving forward. Strength are in numbers. So stay black, stay proud, stay strong. And I'm going to say this to what Chris was saying also. When our black people that are in place to make change, something comes up negative, don't be so quick to jump on the bandwagon.
That's right.
If you feel like something went left, what we need is support and prayer. Support and prayer. They're still a part of our community. Understand that. Mistakes get made every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that one more time. Mistakes get made every day. We are all far from perfect. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to my brother to sum up the show.
Today's show, hope in the black community. And I'm going to just sum it up like this. Hope is the desire to see things change and good things happen. And I think it's us and all of us four right here. We want to see our black community grow and prosper. We want to see the kids do better. We want to see our future. See, we up here hoping when we do this show, our hope and desire is for our future to be bright instead of dark. We want to see the young mans to be entrepreneurs, not killing one another. We want to see us to get together and build up our community because it takes the youth to build up our community. Us and the youth, we got to team up, the old and the young. We need to help each other. So I hope today that people got something out of our message, that we can all come together and build up our community is the same thing as we doing this podcast. Because the whole thing of us is changing our community, and we hope that what we are doing is really building up our community. Boom.
Word. Hope. Helping our people every day. With that being said, you know what it is. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Get established.
Peace.
This has been another episode of the Get Established Show. Today's topic, hope in the black community. Helping our people. Give it to me one more time, Derek.
Helping our people
every day. That's what I want. I want to build in unison with my brother. But we hope you guys got the message. You can see this is a passionate topic for us. We want to see our community grow and be great. And continue to come back. Continue to give feedback. Continue to give ideas. That's how we all going to grow. That's how we all can get better. We're just some voices here trying to shout out what's happening in the community. Also, come back and check us on the multiple formats. We got Raymond. Tell them about that. What we got going on?
All right. Catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok coming very soon.
All right. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. And for me and my brothers, it's been another opportunity to share some great things with you guys, and we love you. Until next time, your favorite internet echoes in the building. Be well. Enjoy your week, folks. Thank you for tuning in.
Boy, I appreciate y'all on that show.
All right, drop the rating.
Hey, that gotta be a 5 in my book, man. Y'all what it is, boy. I'm talking about big. I ain't seen you that animated in a minute, bro. What's going on over there, man?
This is the lane. This is our lane, man. This is our lane, man. This is what
Chris always bring it. Even Raymond, boy. Raymond jumped in there, boy.